Hello, my name is Bill Fegis, and welcome to today's Business Transformation 101 podcast. Today we will be discussing the Pareto Principle. As noted in Volume 16 of this series, A Primer on Lean, 80-20 analysis refers to the Pareto Principle and is used to determine the significant few items that drive outcomes. The 80-20 name arises from the fact that for many outcomes, 80% of the results are produced by 20% of the inputs. For example, in many businesses, 20% of the products sold account for 80% of the profit. This tool is used by the team to simplify the business, remove complexity and variance, and identify the best improvement priorities. The Pareto Principle was developed in 1897 by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. Pareto discovered a pattern of imbalance when analyzing the distribution of wealth and income in 19th century England. More importantly, he found that this imbalance was consistent across different countries and different time periods. George Zipf, in 1949, discovered that the pattern of imbalance extended beyond wealth and income distribution to a wide range of data sets. In 1951, Joseph Juran, who many consider the father of quality management, published his book, Juran's Quality Control Handbook, which utilized the Pareto Principle as one of its guiding principles. 80-20 is an important tool to use as part of the analysis to determine the transformational plan, and to also use when implementing lean tools such as standard work, Kanban, SMED, etc. The 80-20 analysis provides a team with information on the vital few issues that are drivers or barriers to performance. This information provides direction to the team on how to deploy resources to maximize performance and the return on investment of the resources. It can be used to ensure the team focuses its efforts in the appropriate area and does not try to boil the ocean. The team should be emphasizing resource deployment on the 20% that produces 80% of the results, and de-emphasizing resource deployment on the 80% that produces only 20% of the results. Before starting a transformation or creating a strategic plan, it is crucial to understand the current state and assess where the most significant opportunities exist. The transformational opportunities could be in the areas of safety, quality, delivery, cost, or growth. An 80-20 analysis of the overall business or individual business units can identify the best improvement priorities. Here are some example 80-20 analyses that provide insight into the current state. You could look at revenue by product, by customer, or by industry segment. You could look at gross profit by product, customer, and industry segment. Safety incidents could be looked at by root cause, process, or facility. External quality could be looked at by product, customer, and facility. Delivery could be looked at by product, customer, and facility. Revenue growth could be looked at by product, customer, and industry segment. These are just some potential examples of analysis that can provide useful information and insight. For many businesses, an 80-20 analysis of customers will find that 20% of the customers provide 80% of the profit. An 80-20 analysis of products will many times find the same relationship. Based upon these analyses, the team could determine that there should be a rationalization of customer and/or product portfolios. This rationalization could lead to less complexity, reduced cost, and improved revenue growth due to the team focusing on the more attractive customers and/or products. Note that this could also require walking away from low-return customers and/or products, but in many cases it could also lead to raising prices to these customers or migrating them to more profitable products. The leadership will need to manage the rationalization process carefully, but not be afraid to abandon some customers and/or products. Understanding the current state through analysis of these items can provide the team an excellent picture of what is working well in the business and offer insight into potential areas of focus to support the strategic plan and definition of the future state. In Volume 16, the Kaizen approach to driving continuous improvement was described, and several lean tools, including VSM or value stream mapping, standard work, Kanban, SMED or single minute exchange of die, 5S, and 3P, product preparation process, were highlighted. 80-20 analysis provides an excellent tool to focus the Kaizen team on the significant few items that can drive strong improvement results when utilizing these lean tools. Here are some examples of 80-20 analysis that can make a Kaizen more effective. In value stream mapping, an 80-20 analysis of the company's products and processes can provide leadership with a clear view of how value streams should be defined to ensure improvement activities are focused on the vital few products that are producing the bulk of the financial returns. In standard work, when designing a cell and its associated standard work, the team should apply the 80-20 rule to the products going through the cell and optimize the cell for the 20% of the products that represent 80% of the unit volume being produced. Do not try to optimize a cell for all the variations that are outside the products, which represent 80% of the unit volume. The flow of the products through the cell that represent 20% of the volume can be suboptimal since they do not make up the bulk of the unit volume. The team needs to focus on the vital few products. In pull systems or Kanban, in many businesses, the number of SKUs or stock keeping units in raw inventory can run in the thousands. An 80-20 analysis will likely reveal that 20% of the SKUs make up 80% of the materials used. An ABC analysis should be done in conjunction with the 80-20 analysis to also understand how to minimize the total inventory value. The combination of the 80-20 and ABC analyses will ensure Kanbans are being applied to the SKUs that will provide the biggest impact to ensuring critical items are available on time for production while minimizing the value of inventory being carried. In SMED, or single minute exchange of die, an 80-20 analysis can identify the machine setups that are most critical to ensuring the business can provide the vital few products to meet customer demand while also improving productivity. An 80-20 analysis can also be used to define the best location for tooling and other setup items based upon the frequency of usage. Typically, 20% of the tooling will be used in 80% of the changeovers, and therefore it should be located closest to the machine to optimize productivity. In 5S, the first S of the 5 S's is simplify. In this step, the team identifies all the items in the area and determines which are truly needed and how often they are needed. An 80-20 analysis can be done on all these items based upon their frequency of use. Items that are used often are stored in the area. Items that are used less frequently could be stored in the area, but in less accessible places or located in different areas, while items that are used very infrequently can be stored in a different area or potentially even tossed out. Note that a lean transformation should not necessarily strive to transform every value stream and process in the business, especially in the first year or two. For example, the team should focus creating value streams and implementing improvement priorities on the 20% of the products that provide 80% of the profit. Improvement of the value streams producing these products will provide the biggest benefits for the improvement investments. Once these value streams have been improved and optimized, resources can then be applied to the remaining 80% of the products as appropriate. There may be some products in this 80% group, especially legacy products that are in decline, that never justify the deployment of resources to drive improvements, since they will never produce a financial return. So keep producing these products the way they have always been produced. In summary, 80-20 or Pareto analysis is a powerful tool that can be used to identify opportunities to reduce complexity and focus the team on the significant few items that are critical to improving performance and providing a good return on investment for both capital and human resources. 80-20 analysis can be used at the beginning of a business transformation to focus the team on the critical areas. For example, the team should focus on the 20% of the customers and products that provide 80% of the value. This also means that leadership must ensure the team de-emphasizes the 80% of the customers and products that only provide 20% of the value. This can be a challenge, especially if these areas have historical significance to the company. The leadership may need to make some tough calls on walking away from customers and/or products based upon the results of the analysis. 80/20 analysis is also an important tool for using when implementing lean tools such as standard work, Kanban, SMED, TPM, etc. The team should utilize 80/20 analysis to eliminate complexity and focus improvements on the significant few items identified during Kaizen events. 80/20 is an important tool in the team's improvement toolbox and should be applied in high-level business process transformation as well as Kaizen events. For more information on the Pareto Principle, please refer to Richard Koch's book, The 80/20 Principle, The Secret of Achieving More with Less, or go to the Juran website at www.juran.com. In the interest of continuous improvement, I invite feedback from our listeners. Please share your thoughts and ideas on these weekly podcasts, and feel free to suggest topics which you believe would provide useful information for you and our listeners. Thank you for joining us today, and please join us for next week's podcast on SMED or quick changeover.